Hey there chameleons, it's Camille and welcome back to my cooking channel. Today we're going to be making some vegan rice pudding because one, I love rice pudding, but I'm allergic to dairy, so that makes a problem. I can't really buy it in stores, so I decided to make it myself using coconut milk and coconut sweetened cream as the sweetener, and we're gonna add some other fun flavors into there, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is make some rice, and you guys know I don't usually mess with white rice, but I got some today at the store just because I only have brown rice and white rice tastes better in rice pudding, and I thought it would be worth it to sacrifice some nutrients for flavor just for today. I'm going to be measuring out proportions in this mug that says Dairy, who was my helpful assistant in the last episode, but she's a narcissist, so she has mugs with her own name on them. So first I'm going to fill the dairy mug full to the top with water. So this is completely full. I'm going to pour this into the pot. And I'm going to put enough water to come up to this middle of the R section. There we go. And for the rice, I'm going to fill the cup all the way to the top. Oh no! I really tried, guys. That looks good. But first I'm gonna put this water on to boil. And right now we got some brown rice cooking and we have some ratatouille that's ready to be cooked for dinner, but that's not what this video is about, so stop paying attention to that. So I'm gonna turn this all the way on and just let it start to boil, because someone told me in the comments of my last video that the best way to cook rice is to boil the water first and then put the rice in, so we're trying that today. So now that the water is boiling, I'm gonna pour in my rice. I didn't rinse it like I don't usually do, because at this point I don't really care still. We'll see in the future. Also, I didn't add any salt to this because I know some people use a little bit of salt when they cook rice, but since this is going to be a sweet dish, I don't want it to taste salty at all. And since I still don't have a lid for this, I'm just going to use a plate. Now we're just going to let that cook and we'll come back to it when it's done, which will probably be in about half an hour. I also just turned the heat down to low for this, so after it's boiling and you add your rice, you want to turn it down so it can simmer for a long time. So the rice has just finished cooking and it looks beautiful. I think it's easier to cook white rice than it is to cook brown rice, but that is for another day. So now we're going to open 2 cans of coconut milk, and these have 13.5 fluid ounces in them, and it should be just good for the amount of rice that I have, probably, but we'll see. This is also leche de coco if you have a Hispanic market around you, which is where I got mine. And this is dairy free, so it's better for you. Not just because I'm allergic to dairy, it's bad for everyone. So if you guys are health conscious at all, coconut milk is a good alternative. So I'm going to incorporate these slowly into the pot. So the heat is on medium here, so I'm just going to add enough of this to cover the rice initially. It's actually pretty low. It's like low medium right now. And I'm just going to stir this in a bit. And this is supposed to evaporate a bunch, so it should be getting soaked into the rice and then the watery parts should evaporate. So now I'm going to add a little bit more of the milk. And while that's cooking, I'm going to add a little bit of ground cinnamon to the mix. So you just want to add enough for the whole thing. I wish I could measure this, but I don't know, just like a good amount. It looks like it's a lot, but it's really not going to be a lot once you mix it all in. And this is not coming out. Duh. So I'm going to stir all of that. That looks really nice, but I'm going to add a little bit more coconut milk because it has evaporated a good amount. So that's like half of that can. And just incorporate that. We're also going to throw in a little bit of pure vanilla extract. And the weird thing about vanilla extract is it's so expensive for a tiny little bottle compared to like the really big ones you can get if it's fake vanilla, but I don't really know if there's a difference. Let me know in the comments down below if you find that there's a big difference between pure vanilla extract and regular fake stuff. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that. That should be good. And now to add some more flavor and to add the sweetness that the rice pudding needs, I am using real cream of coconut, which is kind of like a sweet coconut molasses type thing. And it also is dairy free and it's very, very yummy. So I'm just gonna pour out a good amount of this. I wish I had a bigger pot. So I used about half the can so far, and we're gonna be tasting it to see if it's sweet enough or if we need to add more. Now this is a bit watery, so we're gonna see how well this reduces, but next time I might add a little bit less coconut milk, especially to start off. But the good thing is you can keep cooking this and the rice will get soft like it usually is in rice pudding. So it should be softer than normal rice anyways. So I just tasted it and it tastes so good right now. It's a good amount of sweets. So I think we're good with the amount of coconut milk and the coconut cream. The amount of cinnamon was also pretty good. So now I'm just gonna add some raisins, and raisins really give it that like sweet, like natural sweet kind of flavor, and they just taste really good with the flavor combinations. You'll need exactly 37 raisins, not one more, not one less, exactly 37. So I'm just gonna break these up because they kind of stick together when they're in the package. For no good reason, other than they're a sticky fruit. That's a good reason, I guess. But I don't want like huge clumps of raisins in my rice pudding, so separate them before you put them in. And also cooking them will bring out the flavor more than it would if you added them in after or when it was cold. And I was kidding about the exactly 37. I'm just gonna put in all my raisins because I had a really perfect amount for this amount of rice pudding. So now I'm just gonna let this cook for a while. I'm gonna keep stirring it until it's the right consistency and it's less watery and more clumpy. So it has come to the perfect consistency right now and it smells amazing. I tasted it, it tastes really good. So let's take this baby off the stove. So I took it out and I put it into this is really hot, put it into this, okay, I'm not gonna turn it, but you see what it is. It's like a glass cup. And I put some raisins on top for garnish. And now just to make it look cool, we're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon just sprinkled on top. And now that is some beautiful rice pudding. Alright, so I showed you guys what it looks like in this glass thing, which is really, really hot, but it looks beautiful and is burning my fingers. Okay, glass conducts heat, guys, don't do that. I'm just going to taste this straight out of the pot because I'm a savage and because I think that it's too pretty to mess up. And also, I just don't want to hold that. I've already tried it, so this is very anticlimactic, but this stuff is delicious. But cheers. It's still smoking, can you see that? This rice pudding is 420 friendly. See, I thought I put too much coconut milk into it because it was like really high up in the pot and like a little bit more liquidy than I expected. But once it cooked down, it was definitely the right amount because it made the rice softer. And you want your rice to be like very soft so you don't really like chew it and it just kind of like, not dissolves, but you know. You want to be able to eat it even when you're like 95 and you only have gums and no teeth. And this is perfect for that. If you like more raisins, you can always put more. And if you want to put whipped cream on top, you can do that, but that has dairy in it, so it wouldn't be vegan at that point. But it would taste really good. But anyways, this was a really successful dish, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Comment down below if you've ever made rice pudding or if you would do anything differently, and I will see you chameleons in the next video. Mwah.